So my dear, beautiful family, as a lot of you know, I've been co-creating, I've been working with Livia and the Actuarian Council of Light from the seventh dimension that she co-creates with and channels for many months now. And one of the pieces that I found to be so beautiful and so shifting was when they shared with me, what happens in evolution and how our souls evolve through the different dimensions. And please know that even though we're all here and we're anchored in physical form in this dimension, our souls are already, they're already in access to higher dimensional planes of existence. And thereby, of course, we can call back that soul memory. Yet because this container is around leadership and what it really means to be a new earth leader, I wish to share something with you. So in conversation, in my sessions, the Actuarian Council shared with me around evolution and how evolution works from this perspective. So a soul evolves and continues to, ascend into higher realms of existence. And at first, there's this kind of like I am this being, and even in our existence in human form, we have this I, presence, this or ego presence that we refer to it. Yet the truth is we are all one. Yeah, we understand this. Yet to really embody it is the shift that we're having in such beautiful, beautiful divine timing and expansion right now. And so the Actuarian shared with me that currently they are the collective consciousness of Arcturus, the planet, the planet Arcturus. And so ultimately what this means is that they were individuals on Arcturus. They were Arcturian individuals. And as they ascended, they decided to let go of their identity, singular identity, and join a collective. And thereby they left behind the identity of I and went into the identity of collective, if this makes sense, right? Yet they were still connected to Arcturus, so the identity became Arcturus versus the person. And so they are the collective consciousness of Arcturus. As we ascend deeper, and they shared with me that they are also, evolving right now as we are, and they're evolving up, into the ninth dimension. And they shared with me that past the ninth dimension, there is no association to the planet anymore. That, like at first, there's, the identity of I, the identity of planet, then the collective consciousness. Then, as the collective consciousness ascends, they let go of being a collective consciousness of a planet, and they become more universal, if this makes sense, or galactic, so to speak. And so my soul family that I co-create with in the 12th dimension is made up of many, many, many collective consciousness councils from many, many different, planets and many, many different places from the universe. Yet each of them had let go of their identity associated with the planets. And they joined into a full collective, which is more universal, the Ascended Masters Collective. And so, they're doing work all throughout the universe, so to speak. And I'm sharing this with you because there's been a distortion in leadership on this planet, and the new Earth leader is no longer grounded in hierarchy, meaning it's not I am the king, I am the queen, and you are all my people, bow down to me. It's actually a collective paradigm. And so what I mean by this is when we look at the throne and when we look at leadership, when it comes to all the old coding of leadership, and what I mean by this is the old coding of king, queen, emperor, empress, pharaoh, and the throne. I want you to tune in with me, right? And when we have a look at the throne structure, that someone sits on a throne above everybody else and others need to bow down to them. Yeah. And even when you look at this picture on the screen, it's like even the council of advisors, this is so beautifully depicted, is on the stairs. They're still lower. There's been a paradigm. There are some cultures where you cannot be, above the eye line, of the king, the emperor, the whatnot. Like, you've literally got to always be lower than the emperor, so to speak. I share this with you because I'd love to know your input, right? Write in the comments, tell me, what do you feel is distorted about the throne hierarchy system? I'd love to know what you feel is not in alignment. Power over the people, yes. Yep. Power, I'm better than you, disempowers others, harvesting energy off others by, oh, yes, Katie, nailed it. Looking down on others. It's saying you are above everyone, elevated importance. It creates separation. Look up to me. Yep. That some are above others. No co-creation. Very easy to have my way, or very easy to have a my way or the highway situation. Yep. I'm better than you. Greater sovereignty, an illusion. Hierarchy. Doesn't honor the divine in all. Yep. Beautiful. You have all the answers only. Yes. Right? It fully siphons life force energy, and these structures have been around for a while, and the person in the throne literally siphons energy and enslaves. Yep. The symbolism of the chair carried right through into business, e.g. chairman. Exactly, Kim. Nailed it. Doesn't honor their unique contribution. Yep. My life, not my tribe. Yep. No equality, not based on merit. Yeah, beautiful. And so ultimately, this old paradigm, what we're doing today is we're doing a decoding of anything within our fields that's still linked to this paradigm. Cool. New Earth business is a completely different way. And so when we look at this, right, what this does is it creates slaves. It siphons energy. It takes people's, just divine life force away, and it lowers their vibration. And what it also does is it caps, it creates this like invisible ceiling on everyone's ascension, evolution, because if I believe that I'm down here and you're up there, if there's any of this going on, then instantly there's this invisible ceiling, yeah? And thereby I'm not even able to receive the guidance inside of me because I'm not vibing at the frequency of receiving it, because I believe I'm less than. I believe I'm not enough. I believe I'm, insert all sorts of bullshit in here, right? And so the new leader, the new earth leader, enslaves no one in any way, shape or form. And I'm talking, this is across the board for every single department of business in every way, shape or form. Instead, if we're not enslaving anyone at all, what are we doing instead? Yeah, there's lots of abuse. We're empowering, awesome, empowering, beautiful, empowering, lifting people up. Great leaders create other leaders. Great leaders remind everyone around them that what's inside of them is phenomenal. Great leaders will have you shift and evolve. Great leaders are totally happy for you to even evolve beyond the stage of evolution they're in. I want you to let that land. Great leaders are happy if their tribe unlocks even beyond them. Great leaders co-create. And so where this comes from, this old programming that's been around, it has been there too, to create these these really fucked up environment, structures, systems to keep all of humanity enslaved in so many ways. And I'm talking, it goes beyond. I want to talk to you about religion for a second. Now, when we have a look at a lot of the interpretations of religion, and I'm like I'm talking every one of them, right? I'm just having a look what you guys are writing. Wow, that highlights so many leaders who aren't in true dignity. Damn, right? Yeah, right, Mel. Student becomes teacher, reciprocity. Yep, that's right. Jackie, we all have our purpose and everyone's purpose is important. Yes. Jasmine, this is happening all around the world right now and the hierarchy is being collapsed. Yep. And people are speaking up. They are empowering themselves. Yes. Kylie, yep. I remember that point when I realized somebody in my team was ready to fly beyond me. Yes. You know, no attachment. And so it's kind of funny, right, that even when we have a look at the coding, this coding's been around for, thousands of years. And even the way they depicted God, God was on I don't know if you, I was brought up in Catholicism and, went to Sunday school and all of that kind of stuff. And I still remember all the imagery, God sitting on a throne up in the clouds, looking down at me, judging me, there's this fear being placed in, which contradicted the whole message. How can God love you, be all forgiving, and give you free will, and then on the flip side be sitting on a throne looking down at you, judging you, and when you die, you're going to get punished, so you better be good and do what I say, or you're going to hell. There's so much contradiction. And what this did, yep, me too, so much fear in the Catholic, yeah. And it's not the main message of it, right? I don't believe that any of that was actually that message. It was just, it got taken and manipulated in order to enslave others and keep them lower and keep them, not being able to evolve. Yeah. Feel the wrath, exactly. Feel the wrath of God, a form of control, 100% control. Yeah, beautiful. And so from this place, I really wish to also, go a bit deeper on not only does the hierarchy, it's so not resonant, because think about it, if evolution from a soul level means that we're actually, we're getting more and more co-creative as we evolve, right? If our soul is going co-creation, next layer of co-creation, next layer of co-creation, if that's what's happening on a soul level, doesn't it make sense that for us to actually evolve and ascend in business, new earth leadership is also thereby letting go of identity hierarchy and shifting into a collective, shifting into a co-creation, shifting into such a beautiful, humble, appreciative co-creation, yeah? And not only does that old paradigm enslave others, disempower others, how does it resonate in business? There's actually a few things that happen. One, if there's too much of this going on, and then what happens is the leader actually takes on too much responsibility and micromanages. There's a flip side to being in the throne. In the throne, there's a heavy weight. There's this, I'm carrying the weight of my kingdom. I'm carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. Give me a yes if you've ever felt this before. If you've ever felt yourself carrying the weight of your business or the weight of the world. Yes, yes, yes. On your shoulders. Yep, totally. Yes, yes, yes. This is part of the same paradigm, because if we're going to be up here, not only it's a distortion, it's well, I enslave you and technically you enslave me, because now I have to do all this stuff to maintain my throne. It's definitely not freedom, I can tell you that much. Yeah, hostages over responsibility, yeah. And so when we remove all the programming around this old system, we're then able to shift into a totally different timeline, a totally different frequency, a frequency where as a leader inside of our beautiful empire, you know, what we shift into in such a beautiful way, right, is the new paradigm. And the new paradigm, there's no throne chair. In the new paradigm, we all sit around a round table. There is no raising up, of anybody. And it's literally round, because even when we look at square tables, or when we look at the rectangle table, like the chairman table, there's still that coding within it. There's still the person at the head of the table. Now I want you to get that we do this in our homes. Like, how many homes do you know where the father sits at the head of the table, right? And the mother at the other head. Unfortunately, not only are they enslaving the children, but they're enslaving themselves, because they're still attached to that programming, that frequency, that friggin' whole, structure, that whole architecture that was created for enslavement. My dad sat and still does, head of table. Yep, boom. Yep, that was totally our home. Yep. Can we have a big round table event at the live event? Yep. It's funny, I did this years ago. So when I first launched this container, and obviously it's evolved so much over the years, I had a round table, my first mastermind, the first sort of, like when I created first class mastermind, the old model, there was a round table, scenario. And I ran the first one at my house, and I purchased a big round table. Like, it's one of those ones that fold up for events, big. And then we put a tablecloth on it, and we all put it in my lounge room, and everyone came to my house, and we sat around a round table and did one of the events. I'm sharing this with you because, so cool. Yep. I'm sharing this with you because round table talks, exactly. Love it. Now I share this with you because this is coding from King Arthur and the Grail Kings. This coding was trying to come through a long time ago. It just didn't quite land. I'm sure you've all heard of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Give me a yes if you're familiar with that story, and give me a no if you're not. That's completely cool too. Yep. Wow, so true. So did my parents. Yes. Not. Kylie, so there was, quite a while ago, there was, a light being that came to planet Earth, and he'd, you can look this up, King Arthur and Camelot. Have a look up, look up King Arthur and Camelot for anyone that wants to delve a little bit deeper into this storyline. Yet King Arthur did create a round table. He created this, he was coding up a whole new way of being, doing, leadership and kingdom. So by all means, if you feel inspired, look into King Arthur, Merlin, the Round Table, the Knights of the Round Table. Ultimately, though, what we want to be shifting into is looking and accepting structures, creating these round structures. Looking at looking at, removing any hierarchical, elements where possible. Now, of course, I'm not talking to go ridiculously anal on it, yet I want to share the intention around this in a beautiful way. Because if you guys look at this picture of this round table, can anyone tell me who the king is? The old paradigm feels like it carries similar energies to the drama triangle too. Yeah, totally. There's a lot of BS coding in it. Can anyone tell me who the king is inside of this picture? Yes or no? Can't tell. No. He. Now, why is that important? Nope. The king is everyone. Oh, I love that. Yeah. So beautiful. No, right? And so this is the difference. This is a collective. It's honoring and respecting every single being that's involved in the kingdom, right? And so to put it to you, we're going to be doing massive work on the team and anchoring. There's so much we're going to be doing at the live event around this. Yet I really wanted to first prepare you for that work. So that's why today in the first section, we're going to be decoding anything, that's in the field that's still got any links of connection to that old paradigm. Because when we look at the New Earth mission empire, it's round, cool. The table is the soul mission culture. The table is made up of, in the table itself, I want you to feel, is the mission crystal, the soul avatar crystal, and the product crystals, which I'll cover a bit later. This is the table. The table's literally constructed of those crystals. Yeah? Now what happens is our team sits around this, and our team, each and every one of them, are a custodian of. And so what this means is the newness of a king or a queen or an emperor or an empress, right? That title itself just means custodian of certain pieces. They are responsible for certain pieces, right? And so say, for example, if each one of these pillars was a person, if multidimensional marketing was one team member on your team sitting at the table, they're the custodian of marketing, right? Then we had sales. If one person in your team was responsible for sales, they're sitting around the round table with you. If another person was responsible for product, delivery, creation, another person responsible for customer service, divine service, operations, yeah, another person responsible for training and hiring team, another person responsible for the vision, co-creation, yeah, another person responsible for the finance department, the wealth of the kingdom, seeing it more like the picture right next to this picture, that there's this going on. Now, in truth, what happens is each person on our team is going to have a custodianship of all the different things that are around the impact, around the mission empire codex, right? So, for example, for me personally, as the queen or the empress, or however you want to term it, give it leader, right? The leader is responsible for co-creation. The leader is the visionary. The leader is the one that has the vision, yeah? And, of course, has the coding to have the courage to build that vision. The leader, the queen, the king is the visionary on that table. Now, a visionary without integrators, and what I mean by this is, if a visionary doesn't have all the pieces, they don't have all the pieces to execute their vision, what happens? What happens to a visionary's vision if the vision cannot be physicalized, executed, built? Tell me in the comments. Can't land. Nothing. Exactly. Who here knows some hardcore visionaries that have big dreams but haven't done anything with them? It stays in the quantum. Yep, me, right? Yep, totally. And now, so what we look at here is, I still remember there was this couple of years ago or more, I learned about the different coding with people. Some people have visionary coding, some people have integrator coding, meaning that they're really good at doing the thing when you tell them what to do. However, to upload, download, and fully create something brand new, it's not their coding. That's not the coding they were, imprinted upon when they came to Earth, so to speak. And so we all have different, roles to play, yeah? And what that means is we do call in a team around our round table that can assist with the integration of all the things. If we have to do everything ourselves, we get very capped. And of course, if we even look at the paradigm, a leader co-creates. If a leader's co-creating, isn't it safe to say they're not alone. You know, one person doing everything, that's not co-creation. And so there's, you know, a couple of different dimensions to look at around this. Yesterday we spoke about co-creation, you know, with our soul families, and then anchoring, you know, anchoring the frequencies through these crystals. So the mission crystal is literally, it's like a portal, you know, or a telephone number, or however you want to call it, a meeting room for our mission, our soul families, the councils that we co-create with. It literally, it's like a, you know, streamlined connection point to be able to download in a beautiful, precise, you know, way from our soul families, yeah, from the galactic light beings that we're co-creating with, through our mission templating. So it's all in the highest alignment, yeah? Yet ultimately, please know that this is our team, you know, like our galactic families, our soul families are sitting around this table with us. That's the non-physical co-creation part. Then we have a team. We have a physical team that's also anchored in a physical body, and they're also around this table with us, meaning that they play a key role, yeah, in the business. To kind of put it to you like this, I'm going to draw something up. It's going to be funses. This is how I perceive this, cool? So, and it's cool. So, drawing. Okay, so I'd like to welcome to the stage my fine arts. Fine arts entering. Let me just do this so it's even clearer. So when you have a look at this, right? This is like instant whiteboard. Anywho, I got carried away. So when you have a look at this, the table itself is, you know, has all the crystals inside of it, right? And we're sitting around. Now there's Gabby. Marga is my right hand. So Marga's the right hand. If we're using the paradigm, because there's pure paradigm, I want to share the pure paradigm that got corrupted, right? The queen, the king, is nothing more than a custodian of certain pieces. There's just certain custodianship. There was a before I show this, I want to share something else. Yep, I'm excited. See, with the crown, for example, the crown itself was not intended to create hierarchy. Everyone gets a crown. Let me explain. When we have a crown, and especially if that crown is coded with specific crystals, gems, like it's got technology coded inside of it, if that crown has the intention to serve the kingdom, right, then what it does is it's actually protecting your crown. It's protecting your channel, in it's having your channel be synced to the mission. So it's really a mission crown, and it's coded with all the stuff you're a custodian of to enable the channel in of all of that. So does that make sense? A crown goes onto the crown chakra in order to enable the channel to be more streamlined, for the channel to be, you know, divinely like activated in the highest frequency. Does this resonate? Give me a yes if this resonates. Beautiful. Love that so much. Now, oh my God, that makes so much sense. Yes, 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 yes. Now, it got fucking distorted though, because then, as opposed to what this technology really could be, you know, it became like this ego thing. I have the crown, listen to me, you know, and there was like fights for the crown, and it's not what it's meant to be. I love that. Instead, feel it like this. Any important member in your team that's a leader, that has, like, to me, everyone that's got something to do, like anyone that's anyone that's making decisions or creation stuff and sits around the table. Doesn't mean that we don't have other people we may use, like virtual assistants or freelancers or companies for certain things, for execution, purely for integration of things. They're not part of the vision, they're not part of creative, they're not part of discussion. Does this make sense? They don't sit around the round table with us. There's key members that sit around the round table. Each key member has a crown. Each key member has a crown that's encoded with the frequency of the mission, and of course their own unique gifts, their own column of ascension, you know, really like allowing the channel to be streamlined, allowing the being to stay within their own soul connection, their own column of soul ascension, yeah, to be connected always, yeah. And so back to my drawing. And so there's Gabby, right? And there's Marga. Now, Marga is my right-hand woman. Marga, as a right hand, is like a queen herself. She's the queen of the backstage. She's the queen of the behind the scenes. She's the queen of a lot of stuff. She has her own round table with the virtual assistants, the freelancers, the other, you know, all the other people that take part in video editing, you know, like all sorts of stuff, right? Like there's all these different things that they do. These people aren't there to sit around the table and discuss ideas and make decisions around the kingdom. Yeah, these people are simply there to do stuff. And so Marga is on the main table. Yeah, she's got her crown, and she's also got her own table where there's others that sit around that table, and she tells me, you know, does that make sense? Like for me, I go to Marga, Marga goes to them. Does this resonate with you? Please give me a yes if you understand that a right hand, you know, which is an important position. And so here we're looking at business manager, operations manager, someone who's actually got a lot of responsibility. Yeah? Yeah. Awesome. Got it. So to me, the right hand and the king or the queen simply are the custodians of a friggin' hell of a lot more responsibility than other people in the kingdom. Yeah? Now, moving forward, I've also got Carissa on around my table. Carissa is a custodian of product delivery and divine service, right? Yet that doesn't mean that she just does what she's told. No, she's a key member in and around the table. She comes up with ideas. And anytime she shares an idea with me, I welcome it with open arms. And I don't think there's any ideas we have not implemented. Every single idea Carissa's ever brought to the round table, so to speak, has been like, man, thank you, that's friggin' awesome. And it's been implemented. Carissa, would you agree with this? You always say, oh my, Carissa, you're so smart. Yup. Yup. Carissa Queen Bee, yup. Carissa also has a crown. Does this make sense? You know, she's just got different custodianship. Now, if I was to, I haven't even gone through the rest yet, but if I was to just take away, if I was to remove Marga and Carissa from the round table, if I was to place myself on a throne, right, and Carissa and Marga were to be below me, kneeling below me, would I actually be supported by them with their ideas? Would they be channeling in and downloading ideas? Or would I be enslaved to them? Would I need to micromanage them? Nope, 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 nope. Fuck no. Do you feel it? This is the power of the round table. The round table, the collective consciousness, is freedom. It means that we're no longer enslaved. It means that we receive, we give and receive in divine flow. We ask for help. If we need help, we ask for help from those around our table, depending on what they're custodians of. You need to micromanage them, and if someone tapped them on the shoulder with a better offer, they'd leave 100%. Wow, such different frequencies, right, Pippa? Yep. Nope. And their round table wouldn't exist either. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Now, from this perspective, any one of your, like, of course, your team around the round table, these are sacred positions. This is an honor. To me, it's such an honor. And it's so important to know that every soul around the round table is actually missioned, and their mission has them be around this round table. Yeah, so for example, Kelly is on my round table, and she's the head crew at all live events. She's the custodian of all of that. Does this make sense? I've got Anita on my round table. She's Merliness. She's potions master. She creates the potions every term for this tribe to have the coding in their field. We co-create together. Her potions, I download, she downloads. Together, we're co-creating. She's a very important person. She's my Merliness, she's my Merlin, for those of you that do get King Arthur. Yeah, and we've got Pippa on our beautiful table. Pippa creates the coded artwork. So the codes that I download, key codes, and there's so much more coming through, Pippa puts them into the physical plane. She's able to receive that, and she literally takes energy into matter, so once again, she's a super important member around the round table. She's a part of creation. Yeah, anyone that's a part of creation is around this table. Now, once again, like I said, that doesn't mean every single person that's, somehow working within the kingdom sits on the round table. These are key members that are a part of creating, anchoring, building, And so, of course, we've also got accounts, someone who's responsible for the treasury. And there could be many roles that you're currently doing. And so then we'll be building this out at the event. I don't want you we're getting the codes right now. We're integrating the frequency. So when we build this in a month and a bit, you're going to be fully integrated in the highest pure frequency of this to ensure that all of this is built, without slaving others or slaving self. This is so important, because if we don't do this, if we build this without removing that frequency, that paradigm, that coding, when we grow our business, the bigger it gets, the more we feel enslaved. And who can relate to that? It's there's even more response because the custodianship grows. And then if you're not able to receive from everyone, then you're doing so much by yourself. Letting go of control, being vulnerable. And this is what it means. Get off the friggin' throne, sit on the table, and you're equal to everyone. Every single person's idea is just as powerful as the queen in old paradigm world, because everyone's got their crown. And we are leaders around a table that are co-creating a amazing kingdom, and every single one of these beautiful beings is missioned to be there, even if it's for a short time. Some of your round table peeps are going to stay with you for a very long time. Some of them may only stay for a few seasons, and then, someone else will come in and take their spot. This is another piece that's really important. There's a scarcity around, there's wanting someone to sign a contract that they're going to work for you and with you for 5 years, 3 years, 2 years. If you get someone to sign a contract to sit on your round table, is that really in the highest? Is that person really in and adding the highest frequency to the round table if they don't want to be there? Let me know. Nope, trapped. Or are we simply enslaving the leaders around our table? Yep, feels like slavery to me. That's right. And so to me, it's also important to allow this to land. The detachment. Of course, we want to call people in to co-create with us for a longer period of time. Of course, it's better. Even when I work with my beautiful family in this container. If I'm able to, if you stay inside of the New Earth Collective longer, I get to know you more. It's just so much more powerful. We get to continue like expanding, evolving, and of course the same with a team member. If they're there longer, it just expands and evolves, evolves. It's just friggin' awesome. Yet at the same time, who are we? Yes, I'm going to go deep with you guys at the event on how to choose key members and how to let this be downloaded. I downloaded everyone. I downloaded to call, like I still remember receiving internally. I was guided to hire Marga. I was guided to, and not hire, I'm going to even take that word out. Now, I was guided to co-create with Marga and place her into the position of right hand. Literally guided, shown in a vision. And I had this chat with her and she was excited. I was guided to co-create with Carissa. And I called her up and shared this vision and she also got excited. I was guided to co-create with Anita. I was guided to co-create with Pippa. Kelly and I have been co-creating for a very long time. And it's a part of soul contract, right? Yet if any one of these beautiful beings was to complete their mission inside of this roundtable scenario and it was time for them to go somewhere else, I would, oh man, I'd give them the best party. We would celebrate, we'd have a party. We'd with so much appreciation and love and honor and wish them, all the best for where they go next, and happiness for them because they're going somewhere else, they're expanding, evolving, they're doing something else, and that's completely okay. Does this resonate with your soul? Does this resonate in your body? Because this is the abundance frequency anchored into leadership.
I trust you enjoyed that video, and there's plenty more where that video came from. And if you'd love to experience some of my trainings and activations, go to my website, gabbykowalski.com, and hit the resource button. There you'll have activations on abundance, evolution, multidimensional business, and you can also find out about my courses and programs. Remember to subscribe. Ciao.